All right, so installing Unity and Visual Studio. So download Unity, the link's right here. This is what the Unity website looks like. The link will take you to the download page. You can download it here. You're going to need to create an account first. So if you're not logged in like it looks like here, go through the login or the account creation process. Again, you want to make things simple, just get the personal account. Some of you want to get the student account. It's the exact same thing. It doesn't matter. Just think about which email you want to register with. Maybe personal, maybe NJT. It doesn't matter. Just create a Udemy account, verify it, do what you got to do. All right. Next step is to download. Um, so yeah, Udemy is definitely for Windows and Mac. Maybe because I'm on Windows, I just have the Windows button, but there should be a Mac version too. Those in the Mac, if you don't see a button, just we can talk about it. But there's definitely Windows and Mac available. Oh yeah, cool. Download for Windows, download for Mac. So the first step is you want this Unity Hub. It's going to be this like management tool. It's not the editor, but they're going to come together. You're going to get the hub. You're going to get the editor. All right, so you download the hub. And for me, I kept trying to update the hub and it wouldn't do it. Let's try it and open it. And just post up if you have any questions. So this is what the hub looks like. I got a series of projects. You're not going to have any. And installs, we'll just have this one. But if you just have the hub and there's no editor, you can always click on Install Editor. Here's the one that we're using. Just click Install. When Unity installs, it should be installing Visual Studio along with it. If not, I'm going to show you how to install it separately. But usually Unity gets installed, Visual Studio gets installed, no problems. If you get to that stage, what you want to do is click New Project and notice the editor up here. Like I only have one installed. If you did install any previous ones, you can select the version you want. We're just doing a basic 3D project. There are others. Select your location. I'm off on my D drive because my C drive gets full quickly. And here you can just type in the class. I'm just going to put IT201 test and create the project. So Unity Hub, which is like your management tool, will open up Unity Editor for this specific project, IT201. So while it's opening up in the background, what you can do to check if Visual Studio came along for the ride is you can search your programs. Hopefully Visual Studio is installed. If it's not, then you could just search up Visual Studio and you can download it. It's for free. Just get the community edition. You don't even need to log into it, but if you care to, create a free Microsoft account and you can log into Visual Studio if there's any benefits to it. But if you need to install it separately, install it. I will show you how to connect the two pieces of software. So last week we had just one piece of software we looked at, which was that Draw.io program on Google Drive for you to make really quick and easy diagrams. So that's three pieces of software: Draw.io, Unity, and Visual Studio. I guess technically four because it's Unity Hub and Unity Engine. Draw.io, that was last week's videos, but in Google Drive, you can go to More and connect more apps. And in Google Drive, you should be using your NJT account because it's unlimited space. In my documents I'm creating, they're also only accessible through NJT accounts. But here's Draw.io, and it looks like this, and you can click install. And once it's installed, you can make Draw.io documents. It says diagrams.net. That's like the old name of the software. But you click on that, and it'll create. You can go through and create a blank diagramming set for you to start editing. All right. So Unity Editor does take a little while to load up. It is a big package. So while that's loading up, I'll just get Visual Studio up so that we can see how to connect it to if needed. Normally what happens is you're in Unity and you'll go to one of your C# scripts and you'll double click on it and it'll just open up Visual Studio for you directly. But I don't care, I just want a blank project. Sure. Because this project isn't going to be connected to Unity. I just want to open up Visual Studio and show you what it looks like. Cool. So the things I really wanted to show you is that this is just what the editor looks like, and once it gets filled out with code documents, it'll look a little easier to understand. But I wanted to show you the get tools and features. And for me, I already have them installed, but when you install Unity, it didn't install Visual Studio, we're going to have to install this plugin separately. So just show under the gaming section, game development Unity, it's checked on, right? Because I already went through a basic install. But for you, if it wasn't connected up, you install Visual Studio separately. This happens to be Community 2022, and somehow we can search their platform. Yeah, so these are installed, but I don't think this is how. For those of you, could let me know if you're not connected, if you can move down here and this is showing and you can just like install it. Otherwise, there's like some kind of marketplace where you can find all the plugins. So anyway, this is where the plugin exists, the tool for Visual Studio, and you should be able to install it here. So I'm in like the Visual Studio installer section, and if you come down here, this should be showing, but it's not clicked on, kind of like the C++ one. And I'll click it, and you should go through an install process. If it's something not direct like that, just we'll go through it. Cool. So editor is installed. Now, on the editor side, I'm going to go through all these panels, but since I'm currently talking about connecting Unity to Visual Studio, what we do is you go to Edit and Preferences and External Tools. And notice here for me, my script editor is set to Visual Studio. So if you did not get the nice, easy installation process, once you install Visual Studio and you go to its like tool marketplace or its extensions, and you able to install that Unity plugin, the next step after that is then coming here, and this is going to show something like not connected or internal editor or something like that. You're going to have to browse and find Visual Studio. So to do that, you have to know like where Visual Studio is sitting on your computer. So if I go hunt for it like this and just right click and say open file location, and look where it brings me. It brings me to this shortcut here. And if I right click on that, go to properties, here's the actual target. This is where it is. So if I take this without the, I mean, you could just take this whole thing and I'll just take the comments out. But if you copy that, the target of that shortcut, and you can just go up here and paste it in and just get rid of those, any of those quotes. Just press the enter key. Oh, well, sorry, I didn't want to actually go to it. I just want to go to the folder. Be like, this is where my Visual Studio exe is residing. And if you notice, it was called dev environment. Okay, so that's the actual file. You come here and you click browse or whatever, and you could just paste it in there. Or you could just go to the folder and go down, and then this is the file you want to select, and you click open. All right, those are all the steps. Just reset Unity, reset Visual Studio, and they'll be connected. All right. So is there any questions on installing Unity Hub, Unity Editor, Visual Studio? And if you need to, you know, installing Visual Studio, installing the Unity plugin in Visual Studio, telling Unity, hey, we're going to use this external script editor, development environment, and how to go find its actual runtime file to connect everything. Yeah. The tools page? Yeah. Tools, get tools and features. So right here. And then I already had it open. You should just scroll down into gaming, and this is the thing that you want to install. All right, so if there's no more questions, I'm gonna stop the video because that was on installing all the software you need and how to connect everything. If there's issues, then we should all be able to use Unity and Visual Studio right now.